We're on end table plan of procedure number 6. This is the end table assembly part 1. Okay, so we have our two sides and our back. And what you need to do is you need to take a look at them and see which side you want out. So take a look at things like this one's got a bit of a crack right here. I'm going to want that on the inside. So I'm going to mark an X on that side. This one is got a knot right in the bottom corner here that maybe won't be as good. I'm going to mark an X on that side. And then this one, same thing, I've got a knot right here that maybe I can cut out a little bit. I'm going to mark an X on this side. So those are the sides that are going to be on the outside of your board, of the table. Now, I've made a special setup here on the dado saw. Do not try to move anything or make any adjustments. It's set, ready to go, exactly what it needs to be. We're going to make a rabbet, which is a groove down the edge of the board right here, okay, that the D-ring will be able to fit into. So the rabbet is 3/4 of an inch wide, and it'll be half the depth deep, which is 3/8 of an inch, because this is 3/4 of an inch thick. Now, to do this, we're going to have the X side up, all right, and we're going to slide it in here. Make sure the blade's right there. We're going to slide it in before the blade underneath this board, and I just put the board here because so much blade is exposed. This is to help cover the blade and keep things safe. You've got to use the push stick, this push stick. All right, we're going to put it out here. Now, we have clamps here, so you got to put it out here where it's going to be out of the way of the clamp. And then you're going to use this hand and just hold it tight against the fence. So we're going to push with the push stick and just kind of keep it tight against the fence this way, and we'll cut this groove right here, okay? So, turn on the saw. It's removing a lot of material, so you got to kind of take it slow. Take a look at it, look down and make sure that it cut everything straight. If for some reason it came away from the table a little bit, just go ahead and run it over it again, like this. There was just one spot there that looked like it came out a little bit. Okay, and now we have this groove cut in the board. And the D-ring being 3/4 of an inch, should fit in that groove like these do, 3/4 of an inch. So that fits nicely. That's what we're gonna want, and the D-ring will fit into that. Now we need to do the same to these other two. X side up. Nice clean cut, that's good. Next side, and on this one I have the crack right here. I'm going to try to cut some of it out, so I'll have it against the fence. Okay, so now we have the grooves cut in all, the rabbets cut in all 3 of the 2 sides in the back. Okay, so now I've got my 4 legs here, and I've got the 2 sides in the back that we just did the rabbets in, and we're going to do some layout here so that we can assemble this in just a little bit. So the first thing we need to do is get our legs, and we need to find out which ones are the tapered sides. So you got to have a pencil, take a leg, and the easiest way to find out which is a tapered side is to put it on the table flat. And if it rocks like this, back and forth, you know that's a tapered side. If you twist it and it stays stable, like this, then it's not a tapered side. So we need to mark the tapered side. So here we go again. That's a tapered side because that comes up, so I'm going to mark that, just with an X or something. And then the other tapered side will always be one of these other 2 sides. So I'm going to twist it to that one. It's not that one, so it's got to be that side right there. Okay, I'm going to mark that. I'm going to do this on all 4 legs. So there's my 2 tapered edges on that one. That one's flat, that's flat. So this is a tapered side, and That's a tapered side. Okay, take the time to do this. It'll save you some headache later on. Okay, there's an X, and there's an X. Okay, last one here. Looks like that's one, and that's one. Yeah, that's flat. So, okay. So now we have our tapered legs. Now, all marked. So these tapers are going to go to the inside of your table. The straights are going to be on the outside. So the next step is to set these up like you would do if you were going to assemble the table and have it in the same orientation. Things to think about is which legs do you want to see at the front of your table. This one's got some pretty bad knots in it. I think I'm going to put that at the back of the table, so I'll put it here away from me. Okay. This one is a pretty good looking one. This one's a really good looking one, so I want it at the front, definitely. Stand it up there. This one isn't too bad, we'll put it there. Okay, so it just kind of depends on what you want, the look you want. All right, so now I've got the 4 boards standing up here, and let me move just a titch so you can see a little better. Okay, raise here. So I've got the 4 standing up here, and my X's are all on the inside edges here. Okay, now next thing is we're going to put in our back and 2 sides. Remember, the back is the shorter one, so it's going to go here at the back. The rabbit goes towards the inside and up. Okay, this is a side, it goes right here, inside and up. Notice that the rabbit is right here on the inside and it's up. And then I'm going to do this one here. So this is the orientation of all the parts. Okay. So at this point, we're going to mark our parts and number the parts so that we know how to put them back together. And this is a really important step. Just like we did on the D-ring, we need to mark these. And you can use letters, you can use numbers. It's kind of up to you. And I'm going to just put a number 1 here, and a number 1 here, and a number 2 here, and a number 2 here. Okay, and you can actually move things if it makes it easier. Number 3 and number 3, and set that back up. And I got a 4 and a 4, and then a 5 and a 5 and a 6 and a 6. Now notice I'm marking these at the adjoining spots so that it makes it easy to put everything back together the way it goes. Okay. Now the last step here that we're going to do is we're going to mark some center lines so that we can put in our biscuits later on. We got to biscuit this together just like we did the D-ring. To do that, we're going to take, now I'm just going to pull this out for a second, and I'm going to mark a center line here on the board. And just make it close. You don't have to measure, it just needs to be close to the center of the board, between there and there. Close is all that matters, okay? Same thing down here, close to center. So there's the other center line, okay? I'm going to do that to all the sides and the back. Okay, about center, about center. And then the other side, I'm doing this on the outside edge, about center and about center. Now, the last step is to transfer those center marks to the edge of the leg, okay? So I'm holding this leg here, and I'm just going to put the center line, these are going to be centered in the middle, so we're just going to make sure that it's kind of centered and not out to the very edge, and just make a line. Okay, So now when those are together, I'll show you here. Okay, so it's kind of like that. And you can see that that line comes in together when this is flat down here. Okay, so now we need to do that to the rest of them. Hold that there. Transfer that center line over. Okay, that one's done. And I'm gonna slide this one so I can reach it. And that one's done. And do the same on this one here. Okay, so we're done with that one. And then I'm gonna come over on this side and do this one. And then do the last one here. So now I have the lines marked on all of these where they're going to be. I've got the numbers so that we can put them back together in the right order. And this is all ready to go over to be biscuited. Do the holes in the biscuits, which is the next step in the next video.